favorite part about being on a college team?
Aside from the endless number of free t-shirts and pairs of socks that I now own, and have quite a collection actually of shorts as well, but in all seriousness, I think the best part was, sounds cliche, but meeting my still to this day good and great friends. I still live with two of my teammates now. This is 3 years removed from graduation, so obviously it's something to be said for that. We shared a certain bond. We had this set of common interests by default when we got on campus freshman year, and not much has changed, and that bond has only continued to grow over the years.
What makes the Ivy League unique from an athletic perspective?
I think the biggest thing that separates the Ivy League is the fact that they don't give athletic scholarships, and even the Patriot League now has started to offer some athletic grants in particular cases. And I think the important point about the Ivy League still, not doing the athletic scholarship route, it really proves that all the student athletes are there because they're students and athletes, and there's not just a kind of a one main focus. It's pretty balanced, and I think there's something to be said for almost technically speaking, be a volunteer on the team, right? I mean, you're not there under some contract or as a result of some scholarship, so you can, hypothetically speaking, leave the team at any time with no penalty. But that rarely happened, and it was just kind of looking back on it, it's kind of a testament to the type of person that's willing to put themselves through all the extra hours in the gym, away from home, when their friends are hanging out, partying on weekends, and you're in a hotel in Hanover, New Hampshire on a Friday night. So it's definitely something to appreciate.
What would your advice be to a high school football player that's looking to play in college?
I think the biggest thing to think about, or the thing that I would offer to all prospective high school football players at the moment, is to realize that you're making a legitimate 4-year commitment, and it will take up at least as much time as school. So you really have to know that there's going to be a lot of times where people are going to be doing other recreational activities, and you're not going to be able to, and it's just something that you have to come to terms with. And also another thing I would say is shoot high. Sure, not everyone's going to play for Nick Saban at Alabama, so be realistic as well. And if you have the opportunity to go to a very strong academic school in a an FCS conference, do that over going to a middle of the pack or lower end FBS school just because it's FBS. There's no shame in going to play FCS, because if your biggest problem or fear about doing that is you won't ever make the NFL, chances are you probably wouldn't anyways. So,
did you have any help or guidance in the decision-making process?
Yeah, I definitely did. It was actually helpful. So my older cousin was a couple years ahead of me, and he played football at Dartmouth. So I had him to rely on, and then one of my other cousins was playing football at St. Lawrence. So they were good people to seek advice from, and I also bounced a few things off my parents here and there. But ultimately, it was my decision from start to finish, and I think that's probably the way it should be. You shouldn't really have any external factors that influence or weigh in on your life.